Hey, that sounds pretty cool.
Thanks.
How do you play it?
It's just A, B, and C.
Huh?
Like A, B, and C.
Okay.
So, dude, it's just literally A, B, and C, just those three notes.
What frets are they?
Dude, you don't know any notes?
If you've ever had a situation like that happen to you, well, this is going to be a helpful video. This is the 5 steps to mastering any fretboard, no matter what fretboard it is. Now, it doesn't matter what level that you're at on your fretboard instrument. I'm assuming that you'll be watching this because you're either making errors or that you're just not fast enough. And if that's the case, some possible reasons are that you just get lost around the fretboard. And that might be because you've just forgotten the fret numbers where you should be playing. Or maybe it's something else a little bit more in your basic fundamentals of your knowledge of the fretboard or music theory. Now, just before we get into these 5 steps, I'll quickly introduce myself. My name is Crafty, and I am a full-time musician. I've been teaching and performing with a number of different fretboard instruments for quite a long time. And so, yeah, I've picked up a heap of things along the way. Here's a bunch of things that I've put together in these 5 steps that are going to help you out. Step number 1 is your basic knowledge of the fretboard instrument itself. And so what that really refers to is basically just knowing, I guess, how many frets you've got and what are the open string notes. You know how many times I've seen people play really fast, except they don't even know what the open strings are called? Okay, so step 2 in mastering your fretboard is your basic music theory knowledge. Now, if you skimp on this, look, you might be able to get really fast, but every so often it's going to come back to haunt you that you don't have some basic fundamentals in place. This is knowing your musical alphabet, knowing sharps and flats, knowing about a thing called octaves. If you don't know what any of those things are, you need to learn those before you can really feel like that you've mastered a fretboard. Okay, so step 3 is having a clear blueprint. What that means is you need to have the clearest of visions of knowing exactly all of the areas around your fretboard instrument. And that could be that you could just visualize it, but
visualizing it can get a bit blurry
unless you've had enough time to really absorb the information. So having it in a clear visual way, meaning on either a piece of paper or on like a screen where you can just view it and then absorb it, and then over time really just know every single area around your fretboard.
This is the door. He goes through that. This is the roof. And this happy character here is the sun.
Okay, we're getting through this list. Part 4 is practice. It's developing all of your steps 1, 2, and 3 into a practical sense, being able to execute all of everything that you know from parts 1, 2, and 3 on your fretboard. It's developing your mindset in thinking about where you're at around the fretboard in a note kind of form rather than just fret numbers, which will make you over time be more and more and more accurate and faster. All right, so that brings us to our last step 5 in mastering your fretboard. It's being able to navigate around the fretboard without thinking. And so, yeah, if we compare this step to, say, like learning to drive a car or maybe learning to walk, learning a skill goes through a bunch of steps which ends up in being able to do it comfortably without thinking. Now, if you're going to master your fretboard, you have to have all of the steps 1, 2, 3, and 4 just a part of you where it's a natural thing. You're not thinking about it. You've just got it. You can just do it.
I want you to shut off the logical part of your mind.
Okay.
Embrace nothingness.
You got it.
Become like an uncarved stone.
Done.
All right, so there's those 5 steps. Now, what step are you up to yourself? How many fretboard instruments do you play? For me personally, I play a bunch of different fretboard instruments, and I'm at different stages with all of them because I've spent more time on some of them than others. Now, how I began with these 5 steps was actually on piano. Huh? That's not a fretboard instrument. Yeah, I learned piano first. And what that did for me actually was just help me out with all of those basic music theory elements. Like I knew about a bar and I knew about like simple time signatures. But in relation to a fretboard, I knew about what were the music alphabet notes. I knew where the sharps and flats were located. I knew about octaves. And so then when I started to play guitar, a lot of where notes existed was pretty intuitive. But I still had some hazy, blurry areas around the fretboard. Like, for instance, I knew the open areas, but not anything really above the 5th fret. Now, I remember clearly I was in year 10 and I was sitting in a class. I don't remember which class it was. It wasn't music class, because I know that I was feeling kind of naughty, that I hope the teacher didn't notice that I was scribbling in the back of my diary. I was trying to figure out, well, where is the note C on the E string? I knew that this was E, that was F, G, but after that it got really hazy, and so I scribbled a bunch of string lines and a bunch of fret lines, and then from there I was able to figure out, there's C. Awesome. And then all of the blurry areas just became so much clearer. I was able to start figuring out where all the notes were around all the other strings higher up the neck as well. Now, so this is a great segue for me to be able to tell you why I'm feeling really excited right now. Maybe I don't look super excited, but I am. I seriously am, because I've literally recently just finished my very first ever online course. And so what it's involved with is everything that we've been talking about in this video, the ways for you to be able to master your fretboard. So I call this the Fretboard X-Ray Vision Challenge. The reason being is I want to challenge you to stop thinking only in fretboard numbers. I want you to feel like that when you're going around the fretboard that you never get lost, and so you'll make far less mistakes. You'll be so much more accurate overall because you'll just know exactly where you're at around the fretboard.
Exactly.
Now, there's a bunch of courses already out there that are helping one fretboard instrument at a time. So say for a guitarist or just a bass player. But if you're anything like me, a bit of a multi-instrumentalist that's interested in more than just only the one instrument, well, this gives you a system to be able to learn where you're at around the fretboard, no matter what the fretboard is. And if you're wondering about why the word X-ray, well, let's think about this. This is predominantly a course that's going to teach you where the notes are on the fretboard. And let's face it, is that the most funnest idea of a good time that you've ever had?
Learning notes, yay!
Well, the word X-ray vision is just a way to be able to let you understand, well, eventually you're going to have something that's kind of like X-ray vision where you can just see everything around the fretboard and not ever get lost. Wouldn't you rather just focus on the end result, the benefits that it's going to give you? How awesome would it be to feel like I've totally mastered this fretboard, rather than making the errors, having that feeling like you wish you were playing faster? So let me ask you this question. Why is watching a video 5 steps to fretboard mastery something that's appealing to you? What are the things that you want to develop on your fretboard instrument? If it's getting faster, if it's not making any mistakes, if it's not feeling lost around the fretboard, well, this is a course that's going to be so helpful for you, because, look, if you want to go it alone, then all power to you. But if you're thinking that, maybe it might be nice to just be able to follow a step-by-step guide to being able to just get what I want, when I want, on my fretboard instrument, well, this is going to be totally for you. And for me, being able to be the guy that gets to show you all of the steps you need to take to be able to achieve your goals and get fretboard mastery, well, I feel so privileged, and I don't take any of what you're going through for granted. So I would like to offer you a 30-day money-back guarantee where if you are a bit like, I'm on the fence, I don't know about this guy, I don't know about his course, well, you get to effectively try before you buy. If at any time within the 30 days that you're going through the course, you're feeling like, I don't know if it's for me, well, all you have to do is just contact us, and no questions asked, it'll be a money-back refund. So I am excited. I'm kind of keeping it contained, but I am excited because I've had already a bunch of people go through it and already getting really good results. So join them, join me inside that course. There's a link below to click for it. So my name's Crafty. I hope you've enjoyed these 5 steps to fretboard mastery, and let me know if you're going to take the challenge to get Fretboard X-Ray Vision.
Every time we say goodbye, I die a little.
So it's been really fun going through these 5 steps with you in this video. If YouTube is not enough for you with these crafty music tips, well, you can follow crafty music tips on a bunch of different social platforms. So my name's Crafty. I'll see you in another music tips video really soon. Keep making great music.